Gentlemen, after qualifying for the Austrian Grand Prix, we have Michael Schumacher on pole, Juan Pablo Montoya in second, and his Williams teammate Ralf Schumacher third on the grid for tomorrow's race. Michael, a very interesting session. No one seemed to want to go out at all. But then when people did go out, you were the only driver capable of doing 2 flying laps on each run. Can you explain that?
I tried, but I didn't actually do it, because the second time I've been out, I had to abort because it didn't go any faster. Obviously, after we had the first run with 2 flying laps, it was decided what we had to do then afterwards, and we were lucky that we had an extra lap in hand, but then obviously unlucky because Jos had a spin in the second last corner, which I would have liked to get that lap in, because you never know. I didn't know actually what was going on, who was still able to go faster or not. So initially I felt a little bit concerned with this, but then obviously nobody had gone faster.
It did seem that the track wasn't getting any quicker, but when you went out for your final run, were you aware of the fact that the McLarens were really struggling and ended up 7th and 8th?
No, I was told on the radio after the qualifying was finished where they ended up. I was pretty sure that they could improve their performance within the end of the session. Then normally you do, and everybody has, not everybody actually, some have done, some have not done. This circuit with the wind and with the setup is very special, and you need to get things right, otherwise you look pretty in difficult position. Remember us last year, we were in very difficult condition as well in qualifying because we didn't get the setup right.
Thank you very much, Michael. Juan Pablo, the first time you've out-qualified Ralf so far this year. Can you talk us through your qualifying?
I think went pretty well. You know, we had quite, difficult Fridays and stuff, and finally we got apart from Brazil, we got a good Friday in, and we definitely did a lot of improvements in the car, and it really paid off. It's been very close all weekend, but at least it's glad to be on top of Ralf.
Now, you mentioned just when you came into this conference that the reason it didn't get any faster on the track towards the end was that the wind changed. It seems to have been blowing around a lot this weekend.
Yeah, I think for us, especially for me, from looking at the data, we couldn't improve the time is because, wind changed direction and was head on, and, it would be a lot more difficult the car to accelerate.
Juan, thank you very much. Ralf, third on the grid this time round. How was qualifying for you? It was very, as we said early on, very abbreviated. No one went out for the first 20 minutes. It must have meant you couldn't do much change to your car between your various runs. It was all very compressed.
Well, obviously there wouldn't have been time for big change, but we knew that our car was reasonably well balanced, and that's why we took the risk. I think qualifying went relatively well. One run I got aborted by traffic, and the last one I made a mistake myself, which can happen, shouldn't happen. I think for the team we have had a good qualifying today, and we are in a pretty promising position for tomorrow.
Now, looking ahead for tomorrow, this first corner here, as Michael remembers from last year, is very tight and quite a lot of incidents. Two of you, second and third on the grid. How are you going to work that one out? Because you'll be starting behind Michael on the side of the track that's traditionally cleaner, but both of you have been very, very quick off the line this year. Just see what happens?
Well, we'll see what happens, and whoever's at the first corner first will go in it first, I guess. That shouldn't be a problem at all, I hope.
Thank you very much, Ralf. Back to you, Michael. There's one new thing here at the A1 ring this weekend. The entrance to the pit lane is now not before the final corner, but before the corner before that. And it's the penultimate corner, the Jochenrindt curve. it's very tight, the entry there. It means that once you've crossed the white line to go into the pit lane entry, you'll be travelling much more slowly than the car on the outside. Are you concerned that might cause a problem if you're fighting with another car than someone's just pulling over to the pits ahead of you?
You don't seem to be up to date. Actually, today, since the driver's briefing yesterday, we decided to ignore the line, and actually the pit entry is in the same area it was last year, the same corner. Principally, it just starts a little bit earlier, and we were concerned yesterday because of this, and we said let's try to have the normal speed and see what is actually the speed difference you have to choose to get into the pit. And I don't think it's that much. I guess Charlie, the race director, will decide whether we have to come back to yesterday's decision or whether we can stay with what we have done today. To me, it's pretty safe the way we have done it today. I don't see an issue with it because the speed difference you have to choose is very, very little.
Michael, thank you very much for straightening that out. Now, if you'd like to do it in your own languages, Michael, starting with you, please.
Ja, ich kann nicht sagen, dass ich jetzt überrascht bin, hier in der Mitte zu sitzen, denn wir haben schon irgendwo erwartet nach dem freien Training heute Morgen, dass wir ganz weit vorne sind. Auch wenn der Kleine hier neben mir sagt, naja, egal. Auf jeden Fall ist es sicherlich schön. Es ging sehr eng zu. Ich meine, wenn man sich die Zeiten anschaut, dann ist gerade mal ein gutes Zehntel zu Montoya und 2 Zehntel zu Ralf. Also das ist richtig eng und das soll heißen, dass es morgen relativ spannend werden wird, in meinen Augen. Auch die darauffolgenden Autos sind alle sehr eng beieinander. Also ich freue mich auf einen schönen Grand Prix morgen und wir haben die beste Startposition dafür. Hoffen wir, dass wir so umsetzen können.
Michael, thank you. Juan, Pablo?
Pues fue una buena clasificación, es la primera vez que clasifico delante de Ralf y me siento muy contento por esto. Se ha hecho yo creo que un buen trabajo, tuvimos un fin de semana sin ningún problema que nos ayuda muchísimo. Es el segundo fin de semana del año que no tenemos problemas hasta ahora y hace una diferencia inmensa. Y yo creo que para aquí en adelante nos va a ayudar muchísimo.
Thank you, Juan. Ralf, please.
Ja gut, was soll ich sagen, bin eigentlich recht zufrieden. Fürs Team ist natürlich sehr gut, Zweiter und Dritter zu sein. Wäre vielleicht noch schöner gewesen, logischerweise Zweiter zu sein, aber hier bin ich mir gar nicht so sicher, was besser ist. Wir hatten eigentlich ein reibungsloses Qualifying und ja, schauen wir mal, wie es morgen im Rennen wird.
Thank you very much.
mehr oder weniger glaube ich im Laufe dieses Qualifyings und damit hat er sogar Glück, dass er überhaupt eine halbe schnelle Runde hingebracht hat mit 1:11:08:50. Er ist einfach einer jener, die fast ein bisschen ungeduldig gefahren sind. Nicht ausgeschöpft das Potenzial hat Schumacher, der sich die 8 Punkte zu dritt gegeben hat und Marquez, der einfach nicht mehr als den Punkt fahren konnte, weil er kein Auto mehr zur Verfügung hatte.